suggested Maduro wants to talk. Are you prepared to speak with him directly? Would you commit to doing that before you order strikes?
Yeah, I probably would talk to him. Yeah, I talk to everybody.
This country will continue in peace.
In the United States, whoever wants to talk to Venezuela,
it will be discussed.
this letter was delivered 3 pages long to the President of the United States, September 6th. September, October, November, it was delivered exactly 9 weeks ago, and Venezuela has an unwavering position of absolute respect for international law.
We firmly question the threat of the use of force
or the use of force to impose rules in relations between countries. And we reaffirm what the United Nations Charter says, what our Constitution says, what our people say. We reaffirm that only through diplomacy, free countries, governments must understand each other, and only through dialogue should common ground be sought on matters of mutual interest. The message is always pending. I have said it in English. And I repeat it always. Dialogue, right? In English.
dialogue. Dialogue. Dialogue.
Dialogue, dialogue. Call?
Peace? Yes.
War? No. Never, never war.
So, whoever wants to dialogue will always find in us people of their word. Decent people and people with experience to lead Venezuela. Because that is another debate. Another debate there is, not only those who propose catastrophic scenarios, the disaster, that 50,000 soldiers come in, there's war in all the cities. And who do they put to govern in Venezuela?
To whom? To Guaido again?
Or to the female Guaido? There was no organized people. There were not even political parties. This country will continue in peace. In the United States, whoever wants to talk to Venezuela,
it will be discussed.
To face without any problem. Or the female Guaido, who in Venezuela they call the Sayona, she is the female Guaido. There is an effort by power sectors in the United States to destroy President Trump, and they have positioned 2 issues. One is this famous topic of Einstein. We have not gotten involved in that topic, nor will we ever give an opinion. It is a topic of the United States. And the second topic is Venezuela. They want President Trump to make the biggest mistake of his entire life
And gets militarily involved against Venezuela?
which would be the political end of his leadership and his name. There are other comments I would like to make to you, but I'll tell you later. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is very tangled up because the seas
and the territory of Trinidad and Tobago to host a military force
facing Venezuela, 15 kilometers from Venezuela, at the closest point to threaten Venezuela. And the people there in Trinidad and Tobago are completely against it, completely against it. So it is a shame that the defense forces, the military police forces of Trinidad and Tobago, did not know anything about where the military forces are going to be. In other words, they handed over the territory. Yeah, I don't know what the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago says. If a prime minister can grant the territory and seize of their country so lightly to threaten a very beloved neighboring country like Venezuela, with whom we have a common history of centuries and centuries. That had never been seen before. Truly, it had never been seen. And I think the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is going to fare very poorly for these missteps she is taking against the peace of her country and the region.
You suggested you've made a decision about what you want to do next to Venezuela. I understand you don't want to tip your hand, but is there anything you're ready to rule out at this point? Are you ruling out U.S. troops on the ground?
No, I don't rule out that. I don't rule out anything. We just have to take care of Venezuela. I'm not in love with the people running Venezuela. I love Venezuela. I love the people of Venezuela. But what they've done to this country, and I really say this, what Biden and the Democrats have done to this country can never, ever be forgotten.
You suggested Maduro wants to talk. Are you prepared to speak with him directly? Would you commit to doing that before you order strikes?
Yeah, I probably would talk to him. Yeah, I talk to everybody.
In these talks with Maduro, is there anything that he could say or do that would allow you to feel like he could stay with your support? Is there anything that he could say that you would be, okay, you can stay as leader?
It's hard to say that. You know, the question's a little bit tricky. I don't think it was meant to be tricky. It's just that, look, he's done tremendous damage to our country, primarily because of drugs, but really because we have that problem with other countries too. But more than any other country, the release of prisoners into our country has been a disaster. He's emptied his jails. Others have done that also. He has not been good to the United States. So we'll see what happens. At a certain period of time, I'll be talking to him.